Guys, life is hard, okay? Like, honestly, let's be real. Life is so hard. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening to everybody, and welcome to my channel. My name is Tato and I am a graduate student in Okinawa, Japan. I'm originally from Lesotho, and if you would like to get to know me a little bit more, I did do a get to know me video a few weeks ago, so I will link that above. But today I just felt like doing a just heart to heart, a little heart to heart, okay, because there's certain things I've been thinking about, and I thought, hey, let me make a video and put it out there and see what other people think, and see if other people have tips for me, advice for me on how I can sort of mitigate the problem I'm currently having. Okay, so it's gonna get personal. Oh no. Let me get a drink, okay? I'm hoping that this is not gonna be long, but I do think that let me get a beverage. All right. Okay, so I'm actually drinking coffee. Those of you who know me know that I never drink coffee, but I had meetings this morning, so you know. I drank a bit of coffee, but yeah, so now it's just gonna get me through this video. So I've been thinking over the past couple of days about the concept of consistency and the concept of just showing up for yourself day in, day out. And I've realized that this is something that I struggle with a little bit, but I wouldn't say that it's a general thing. Like, I wouldn't say it applies to everything in my life, but it does seem to apply to certain things, areas of my life that I would like to see improvement on. And this is why I guess I'm making this video, because at first I was trying to just look at, you know, people who have done some of the things I'm trying to do right now. But I found that a lot of stuff on YouTube, I don't know, maybe YouTube is just like every other platform, media platform, whereas like people really just show the stuff that they're good at, or they show things after their successes, and it's very hard to find relatable material when you're kind of feeling like you're in the pits a little bit and you're struggling with something. This video has two main purposes to it. So the first one being just to share my story of how I have failed while trying to do some self-improvement programs, specifically in the physical health, and just building consistency with my physical health. So that's one part of it, because I feel like there is a shortage of information from people who maybe are going through difficulties when it comes to these things. I think oftentimes we're just seeing the success stories, and maybe while that can be inspirational and can maybe help to get you up in the morning, but I think it also helps if you do find people who can relate to the struggle part of it as well. Like, I hope that makes sense. So that's the first purpose of this video. And the second purpose is I'm really just looking for advice on how you guys have been able to build consistency when it comes to like physical wellness and just showing up for yourself. So yeah, please feel free to let me know in the comment sections what programs you've attempted and how you managed to get yourself through them. I do believe that it is more of a mental fight than it is a physical fight, because I think there's a lot of internal dialogue that happens, and perhaps that's where the fight really is. And if you win that part, then the physical will just follow suit. I don't know, but yeah, let me know if you guys have any tips and hints on how to psych yourself to get through these programs. So I'll be more specific so that you kind of understand where I'm coming from. So earlier this year, My roommate and I were trying to attempt the Chloe Tang challenge. You know, there's like this 2-week Chloe Tang challenge where she does, I think it's called the 2-week shred or something like that. And it's like basically exercise and there's different targeted muscle groups with every exercise. And a lot of people have been posting on YouTube about how they've been successful with that and weight loss that results from that, or like just body positivity that results from that, or like they gain confidence or whatever it might be from completing this challenge. And for me, it was one of those things where I was just like, oh yeah, I want to challenge myself, let's do something like this. But I find that I tend to get excited for this sort of thing in the beginning.
It's go time.
And you might call it motivation or whatever, or inspiration, and I do it and I'm in there for 3 days, 4 days, but then I stop. And the reasons for me stopping is like, okay, well, my body is sore today and I literally can't move my thighs, so I'm gonna take a rest. You would think that, you know, in the next day I'm gonna like come back to it, but it usually doesn't happen this way. Usually doesn't happen this way. Once I stop, it's almost like I find it really, really hard to come back again. I failed. I failed to do the Chloe Ting challenge, and can you imagine? It was only 2 weeks. Most people can, you know, suck it up and just kind of get it done because it seems like a short time frame, and yeah, I couldn't do that. Like, I stopped and my roommate continued. She did not finish in 2 weeks. I think it took her about a month to go through all of the exercises in the program, and she's fitter than me, I think, in terms of just being more active than me. She's definitely more active than me. So yeah, it took her a month. But my thing was, why couldn't I get back to it? Was it that I couldn't, or that I didn't want to? Was it just the wrong choice of exercise for me?
I'm lazy, I'm cowardly, and I do not know what I'm doing.
Oh yeah, a lot of thoughts went through my head, but I let it go. I never went back to it. At least not this year. I had attempted to do Chloe Ting last year, I think, twice, and both times I had failed too. And I think it was very similar reasons. Like, I think I get to day 3 or day 4 and my body is just so sore and tired, and then I can't do it on the 5th day, and then I just don't get back to it. Either this, or I get busy in the lab. So like, I will select a specific time where I say, okay, I want to do this particular exercise at, I don't know, 8 p.m. But then if it happens that on one of those days I am still in the lab at 8 p.m, arriving at home at 9 or 10, then it's almost like, because I'm getting home and I'm tired and all these things, then it's almost like maybe I feel like that time has passed and therefore I can't do it. But then the thing is, why don't I go back to it the next day? I don't know. So I guess, you know, I was just wondering to myself, okay, I've tried Chloe Ting 3 times, failed 3 times. Maybe it's time for me to choose a different exercise regime.
It's go time.
A week ago, almost 2 weeks ago, again, I was telling my roommate about a program that I heard about, because I'm always the one being like, hey, have you heard about this? Have you tried this? Oh my gosh, I think people are really doing it and it's working and it's awesome. So I told her about this challenge called the 75 Hard. I actually heard about 75 Hard from a friend of mine who just recently completed the challenge, and I was just asking him, hey, why were you doing this? And like, what did you have to do? What did you learn from it? And all of that. And he was explaining to me his reasons, which I'll not share now. But it's very personal, and he told me like how it went for him and what he has learned about himself, and how he feels so much more powerful, so much more confident, and so much more like he can rely on himself. He stays true to his word, and if he says he's gonna do something, he really follows through. And it's, and he was explaining to me how, you know, he's no longer reliant on emotions and feelings, so it really doesn't matter how he woke up that day, he will complete everything that he has to do for that day. So I was really intrigued by this, and I was like, yeah, let's build some mental agility. I mean, having read books from like David Goggins and all these people, it really resonated with me, because I was just like, yeah, let's build mental toughness. So another thing that I really liked about this particular program was that it's not only focused on physical exercise, but it's also looking at self-improvement through reading and, you know, drinking lots of water. It seems to have a more holistic approach to self-improvement. So the focus is not really on like, let's get my body fitter. It's more like, let's get my mind and my body and my spirit fitter. Now the 75 hard is crazy though, because the rules are really strict. I think there's a couple of rules. Like the first one is you have to follow a diet, any diet of your choosing, and then you have to drink a gallon of water every single day. You have to remove alcohol, no alcohol for the 75 days, and then you have to read a non-fictional book. I'm not sure if it says non-fictional or does it specifically say self-help book, for like 10 pages every single day, and then take progress pictures every single day. The golden rule, or like the big rule, is that if you fail at any of those things for any of the days, you start on day one. So there's no room for failure and stuff. To me, that seemed crazy for a lot of reasons, which I will not get into now, but I wanted to adapt it to myself, right? Because I felt like if I'm going to follow through with this, it must be something that I really truly resonate with and I can see myself doing consistently, sustainably, because I was already seeing that some of those things don't really fit my desired outcome. I feel like I could set my own goal based on my actual needs, of how much water I want to drink and hit a day, and exercising twice a day also seemed excessive to me given my work. There was a knock on the door. So where was I? I wanted to adapt the program to fit my work schedule, and I wanted to adapt it to fit the needs that I actually wanted to achieve. And so I told my roommate about it, and then we made up a 75 me challenge, which was kind of like, because we saw that some people have come up with the 75 medium, 75 soft, because of the loopholes and pitfalls of the original 75 hard challenge. So we took the me from medium, but we really just wanted to personalize this, and I will kind of show you the rules of what I came up with. But it's just exercise for 45 minutes once a day, read 10 pages of a non-fictional book or non-fictional material, which for me can also count as research articles, because I have to read every day for work. I have to read for work anyways, so I'm not going to restrict myself to self-help books when I actually have to read journal articles. So yeah, that's one of the things. And then I wanted to also drink 2.5 liters of water every day. What were my other rules? With the diet, we're just trying to incorporate more vegetables. So we have to have vegetables with every meal that we're having, which, you know, sometimes was not happening. Water, 2.5, reading, vegetables, exercise for 45 minutes every day. I don't remember if there was any other rule. But yes, so these were the rules, and this was 75 me, right? And I was really super pumped about it, but I hate to say that even that I failed at that. The reason I failed, so actually what happened was, I think on day 3 or 4, I kind of lost track of where I was. I think it was day 4. Yeah. On day 4, I didn't manage to get my full reading in. So I was 2 pages out, and that was because I just did not manage my time well throughout the day, right?
Like I had my friends come over, we did a puzzle, and I had other things going on at work.
And by the end of the night, it was like 3 a.m. and I was still reading a paper because I'm trying to get like 10 pages in, but I fell asleep while reading that paper. So I was like 2 pages out and I couldn't finish that. So that was one thing. So I felt a little bit like discouraged by this. And then I think also when I told my roommate about this, like, hey, I didn't get 10 pages yesterday, what is our rule? Do I have to start from day 1, or like what happens? So we agreed that if this happens, we just have to compensate for it the next day. So I'd have to read 12 pages, and then I was fine with that. So I was like, cool, read 12 pages tomorrow, no problem. I'm often reading more than that anyways, if I actually like do my stuff well throughout the day. But I remember the next day, I think I did not exercise on that day because I was so sore from the other days of like hardcore rigorous exercise. And I think that was it. Like, I haven't actually done the challenge past the 4th day or 5th day, and my roommate doesn't know. I didn't tell her, and she's still doing it, and I want her to keep doing it. I was thinking to myself that, you know, maybe I start over. Maybe I do my day 1, start clean, start proper. But I'm thinking to myself, what is going to keep me going when I'm doing this challenge? What is something that's actually going to keep me going? I feel like I need to have that before I decide to embark on the journey again. Also, I should probably tell my roommate that I failed. I think she's on day 8 now, or day 9. And yeah, I've been stuck on day 5. Yeah, so what do? You're doing a challenge with somebody, but you're keeping your own self accountable. When do you tell them you gave up? And did I really give up? Should I just go on? So the other thing that came up is now we're actually on a trip. So I think that disrupted my schedule a lot too, because whenever I'm traveling, to be honest, I don't drink as much water because I don't like to have the inconvenience of finding a bathroom in public spaces. It's a whole thing. But once we got to our location, I actually did get back to at least drinking 2.5 liters of water every day. So that's fine, but I haven't been reading and I haven't been exercising, and I feel like that's a problem. I need to start. So anyway, I mean, obviously this video is not gonna be helpful if you yourself are looking for ideas for how to progress in your self-development programs. But I'm hoping that people who are watching this have been better at these things than I have, and maybe if you guys can share your tips in your comments so that we can all learn from each other. And I do hope that someone who is struggling right now can somehow find a sense of belonging in this family, or like, hey, you're not alone. Like, yeah, some people do fail. Not everyone completes Chloe Tang, and not everyone completes 75 hard, and you're not alone. But at the same time, if those things are truly things you want to complete for whatever reason, hopefully we can find the tips here to help you succeed. Cheers, guys. Thank you for chilling with me today, and I look forward to your help. Bye.